We are here at Oppikoppi, sweet thing with Rolling Stone and Google Plus doing the Hangouts. We're about to do this wrap up. It's just a wrap up. It's late on a Saturday night. We've had an entire 3 days of craziness. He's Evan Milton.
And this is Anton Marshall. We hope that you enjoyed the live streaming. If you didn't get to see it, you can check out youtube.com Oppikoppi TV, and you can see a whole lot of streams, which we'll try and wrap up for you, which is kind of crazy because it's 3 full days of festival madness, and it hasn't even finished yet. Anton, your highlights?
My highlights, personally, among the interviews that I did on the Hangouts, Jenny and the Beard were really entertaining. They really did a nice little song for us. Amongst others as well were the group from Holland, Bombay Showpig. I really enjoyed talking to them as well. They were really friendly guys. There are a couple of others as well, which I'll mention in a minute. But basically everyone who came into the Hangouts for me were really accommodating and really friendly.
You also got to speak to Karl Hoffman, who's the organizer of Oppikoppi. What was that like?
Indeed, he was, as you can imagine, in the middle of a festival that's the biggest they've ever done. I sensed a bit of, he was a little bit of stress there, but actually he was handling it quite fine. And he told me that on the day that I interviewed him, which was today, in fact, this very morning, they had a meeting plotting next year's one already. So he was handling quite fine, I thought.
And their intention is to go bigger next year, which is kind of crazy. If, like us, you've tried to walk through there, which took, we had a plan to watch Corin Zoid before coming to do this wrap-up, thinking we'll just go and catch 20 minutes of her, except it takes about 20 minutes to walk through all of the people and get back. My highlights, in terms of live acts, Knorr Kator, who come all the way from Berlin and are the bastard child of Chris Chameleon and Rammstein, dressed very funny and playing keyboards with their feet. Yes, with their feet. Blackjacks was amazing live, and they did a very interesting interview. A little bit left of center, check it out. Matthew van der Want, amazing to see him performing again. Babylon Circus were incredible on stage, which you can watch the stream of, but also even more interesting, they did a performance at the nearby township, just outside the Oppikoppi Festival Farm, a place called Varkvlei, and it was just them, barely any mics or anything like that, and 20 or 30 of the local school kids, and really just giving an immense amount back, which is one of the things that I think this festival does, which is really great. My highlights interview-wise, obviously talking to Beast, what red-blooded male would not be delighted to do that, and getting a chance to hear the drummer, because of course we always hear the guitarist and the bassist. That was pretty amazing. And chatting to Fokov, 1 year before they hit their decade on that stage out there before they went up to perform. Great to talk to them.
You mentioned Babylon Circus. I was watching them a little bit, and then I saw some footage that somebody had taken. They were absolutely fantastic, because I think prior to coming to this festival, nobody really knew too much about them, but they really took the stage by force, and they did that. One of the other highlights for me, of course, was the legend Vusi Mahlasela, and you're never disappointed when you watch that man. He's absolutely fantastic. And then Albert Frost as well, watching him live. Of course, Albert also did a guest slot with Gert Vlok-Nel, who has just recorded his first album in something like 14 or 15
The
years.
Recluse returned, yeah,
and
exciting.
That was a nice vibe as well. I really enjoyed that as a live piece. Josh did really well on Thursday night up at the top bar. Josh Grierson, that is. I really like what some of the young South African artists are bringing forth. I think they're doing good stuff, and I think they're being comparable. I spoke as well to Enter Shikari a little bit earlier today.
That was a nice thing talking to the internationals. So Martin from Purple Sneakers was just saying he's been to a whole lot of festivals, plays as a DJ, sometimes just wrapping everything up, sometimes as a featured act, and he just loves this festival because of everything it brings to the attendees. And the Congos, of course, born or with South African heritage, back here again, looking forward to play here. Wonderful to speak to them, and they'll be back again because of this thing.
Most of all, I think it was fantastic to just be here with Google Plus, who provided a fantastic platform for us to do this hangout with. And I think, if all things go as we planned, we'll be back next year to do the same.
So thank you, Google.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Rolling Stone, man.
Thank you very much, Evan Milton. We'll
Cheers.
be back next year. Cheers.